Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Total Football Talk. So we've just seen United draw 1-1 with Real Sociedad. Give me your thoughts on the game. What do you think about that? How do you think we did? For me, I think we actually did okay in large parts of that game. We played well. We held the ball. We moved it actually pretty quickly. And I think one of the big differences for me in this particular game was playing a European team as opposed to playing the pace and power of a Premier League team. Is that they aren't that they just move the ball a bit slower, and we had the opportunity to kind of counteract what they were doing. We didn't give much away in the first half. We Obviously the penalty was a turning point, which was really, really frustrating. Because up until that point, United were in the ascendancy. We'd scored the first goal. I was really pleased for Xerxes, considering he missed the penalty against Fulham, and obviously again felt like the world was on top of his shoulders. Tonight he did well when he could, when he was on the ball, and obviously when he took his chance, he took it and he scored, which was brilliant. I think from my point of view, I think their goalkeeper, I would be very frustrated if that had been Onana, because I do think that he could have got his if he had been positioned better, he could have maybe made a slightly easier save. But I think he shifted his body weight to the left, and then he had to come back to the right. And because he had to do that, and Xerxes took it first time without having to think about it, I think that's what gave Xerxes the slight edge on the goalkeeper and scored, which was absolutely delighted with. I felt like at times we were still wasteful. Times Garnacho was making the wrong decision. He did make the right decision to putting the ball across the box to Xerxes, which was perfect. But prior to that and after that, he made mistakes where there were chances when he could have slung it across and he didn't, or there were times when he was shooting and he maybe should have made a different choice. And obviously his numbers are down. Hoyland at times he did okay, but if you look at the stats, he's actually not very good. He worked hard tonight. Dallo unbelievably should have passed to that. Dallo should whip that cross in first time in the first half, but he doesn't. He decides to take another touch, and we end up, becoming just a melee in the box, and we end up not doing anything with it. Dorgu ends up taking a right-footed shot and balloons it over the bar. That ball should be slung in first time by Dallo. Now, why did Dallo do that, or what was he thinking? Is he not trusting that Hoyland? Like, Hoyland was busting the gut to get into that particular zone to get the finish, but for some reason he decided to not whip it in, and I was screaming at him to just get it in first time. Now, he did later at a second stage get it in, which was useful. He cut it back to Bruno, and Bruno was slightly behind him, so he got half a chance, but he didn't quite get it finished. They made a good block on the line, and again, frustrating night for United, because I do believe that we should have come away with a victory. Now, the bloody penalty, Bruno, his arms up. It is a penalty, unfortunately, in today's laws, but I think it's ridiculous because, it's close to his arm. He's kind of going up to challenge for it, and it's so, so frustrating that we have to lose again or lose out to this particular team. When we played them a couple of years ago, they got a jammy penalty. It hit Martinez's thigh and then hit his hand, and the ref gave it. And tonight they're cherry picking and they're looking into, you know, absolute minute but microscopic detail things that are happening in boxes, and it's just so frustrating for us. Sorry, guys, please. And my kids are now just decided, as per usual, anytime I come to do a video, they decide to just start writing and shouting, and says, sorry, it's absolutely typical. But anyway, thanks very much. 1-1. We take it back to Old Trafford. Let's see what we can do in the return leg. I think there's, as Ruben mentioned in his press conference, there will be a the pressure will be on United. It'll be absolutely on United, and I'm hoping that we get an early goal to ease some of the tension. We probably need a couple. I don't know who's going to score it. Maybe it will be Xerxes, maybe it'll be Bruno. But we need an early goal at Old Trafford to ease that tension, because the longer the game goes on at Old Trafford and us not scoring, the harder this game is going to be. And it's frustrating tonight that we didn't get a win, because I would have taken a draw, but the way the game kind of panned out, I think we needed to take a win away. But unfortunately, we didn't get it, which is, really so annoying. Bloody penalty. But yeah, so that's where we are with it. Breathe. Let's go again at Old Trafford. This our season completely rides on this particular game. Actually, not bothered about the game against Arsenal at the weekend. As in, if he wants to rest some players and keep them for that, Sociedad game, I think that's maybe the way forward. Maybe bring in Collier and play him in midfield. Maybe have a bit more youth on the bench to freshen it up a bit. But I think everything hinges on next week's match against Sociedad at Old Trafford. So I think you've got to look to that. And the Arsenal game is kind of secondary. We can't do anything in the league. Arsenal are going for the league. We don't need to kind of kill ourselves in that particular game. Arsenal are they're high off the back of their 7-1 victory. So we just go in, we take that game as it comes. But everything focused has to be on the Real Sociedad game at Old Trafford next week. 1-1 draw. Get your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're feeling. Are you happy with tonight's result? Do you think we should have done better? Was it a penalty in your opinion? And how glad were you to see Xerxes get on the score sheet again, especially after missing the penalty against Fulham? Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Keith. I'm the host of this little channel. You've been listening to Total Football Talk. Hit a like and a subscribe on the way out. As I said, they've been absolutely flying up. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. And if you're interested in youth football, grassroots, I run a little channel from my boys' channel for Total Football TV. And it's just the highlights of their games, but I make it really entertaining. I drop some film references in there. There's some commentary. Please give it a check it out, subscribe to that one too, and I'll keep trying to entertain you. Thanks very much for listening, guys, and speak to you on the next one.